Another fight? Well, if you insist. Oh. Careful, Walker. All that swimming and fighting has made me hungry. And you look pretty tasty, I must say. You know Zaji? And he's alive? That's good to hear. Now I can kill him for getting us wrecked as soon as I see him. When the storm hit, it was all I could do to hang on to some wreckage and make it to this beach. We're on Amnos, right? The Alliance leaders, right. I keep meaning to try to find Queen Irene, but every time I get started, more of those prison mongrels rush out of the jungle and attack me. I love a good fight as much as the next sailor. I'm exhausted. Sure, two noses are better than one. If we can pick up Queen Irene's scent, I can track her. That's sort of my specialty. The nose knows, as the kittens say. Let's look around. If I catch a familiar scent, I can follow it. Peace conference! Is that what this is all about? Zaji received orders from the crown. I guess we were conscripted. Once I learned that our passenger was Queen Irene, I was dumbfounded that she chose the perfect pawns. Proud. What have we got here? Someone used this shelter recently. Their scent is fresh. Familiar. This way. Let me take a sniff. Ah. The remains of a fire. There are tracks here. This way. Give me a moment. There was a fight here. What's that? On the ground. That medallion has the Queen's scent all over it. There! I have her trail. Follow me. The Queen is in danger.
Even your friend shouldn't be wandering about. Fair day and Oriel's blessing to you. I am Irene Arana Aldmeri, Queen of the Aldmeri Dominion. You have my apologies, friend of Casca. I'm a stink worse than a 3-day dead Gua right now. Ah, Lady Arabelle. I knew she wouldn't leave us to rot in this jungle. But she only sent you. Not an army or a chivalry of knights. No matter. I welcome the company. Trouncing these green serpent bastards is amusing, but I'm starting to grow weary. Ah, yes. We were together for a time, but we argued and he rushed off in a huff. I believe I know where to find him after we make some preparations for our rescue. You can signal a ship, but I can help calm the storm that hugs the... Never heard about my time with the Sea Elf pirates? They taught me some weather magic. Could you get what I need for the ritual? A claw from a volcanic beast, a feather, and the bones of a drowned sailor. Sadly, these beaches are thick with those. Gather the claw, a feather, and the bones, and I'll make sure the rescue ship can reach the shore safely. While you're gone, I want to take a look at Casca's wounds. She won't admit it, but I can see that she's hurt pretty badly. I am. I founded our alliance right after I accepted my dead father's crown. Anything else you want to know? We are still lost in a hostile jungle, in case you haven't noticed. The old ways are gone. The High Elves, the Khajiit, and the Wood Elves have the strength of will and character to unify Tamriel. I know we may not see eye to eye, but the war has only served to forge my resolve. I believe it with all my heart. When my father died, I took up his throne. It was a difficult transition. But I believe my experience has prepared me, honed me to be the ruler the Dominion needs. The ruler Tamriel needs, if I may be so bold. What have you heard? I adventured for a time, but the tales of my exploits have been greatly exaggerated. Except the story about the bear. Or the kite. Or the trolls. I miss adventuring. That's where I met Casca, in Elsewhere, during my travels. It was a well-planned and dastardly attack. I could sense the magical nature of the summoned storm, and none of my own arcane protections functioned. They blocked them somehow. If the storm hadn't raged out of control, I'd be dead now. Of course. I'm not an archmage, but I know my way around a spell or two. They must have had agents aboard as well, because I sensed a pulse of magicka before the storm hit. Whatever it was, the bastards rendered every enchanted item we had useless. Absolutely. Tamriel is changing, and her leaders must adapt. The situation in Cyrodiil right now, I can't see a way forward. Perhaps these talks represent a solution. I'm always in favor. Casca, you've been injured. Let me... While portals to and from Amanos are prohibited, I can teleport within the confines of the island. It just takes more effort. Interesting. Thank you for procuring these items. With them, I can clear them. Oh, very well, if you insist. You may not believe this, but Emmerich and I do not always see eye to eye. He's as stubborn as his throne is uncomfortable. Why the Bretons insist their king must suffer every time he sits down, I'll never understand. Here, I'll mark your map. It was just north of here. I wonder how excited you'll be when the eagle and the lion are back together again. We tend to argue. A lot. I'll catch up. Have no fear, I'll be along shortly. I just need to... I'll be fine. I just need a moment. See? Emmerich. That man is infuriating. This complicates the situation. Let's talk. Emmerich isn't here, but he left behind a number of green serpents. For a man of his advanced years, he can still swing a powerful sword. Emmerich is nothing if not reliable. Look at the way the dead serpents are laid out. Isn't it obvious? He left a trail to follow. It leads directly into the cave. I'll be along shortly. The poultices should have done their job by now, so I want to go back and retrieve Casca. We will want her strength at our side before this is over. And don't worry about me. If I could survive the politics of Somerset, I can handle an inhospitable island. I'll retrieve...
You there! I'm begging you. There was a shipwreck. The other, our ship was attacked. By coral, I think. It just grew out of the waves and... I don't know what happened to the other sentry. The sailors and other jailers call that place the Coral Cliffs. I won't survive the trip inside, but you're an adventurer. You're my only hope of getting the survivors out. Another House Menard ship... I counted the footprints. Enough for each of the prisoners and Veslin. She's with them, mark my words. I just hope they're all right. Get Veslin and those ne'er-do-wells out of the Coral Cliffs. House Mornard will see that you're compensated. The Coral Cliffs aren't an area anyone wants to be lost in. Strange noises thereabouts. Makes me shudder. You find my fellow sentry and those prisoners north. House Mornard has a larger ship waiting for them. We were tasked with taking the prisoners to the ship from Amanos Station. Their captain gave Gold and her word that she wouldn't attack Mornard's ship in return for her crew's safe return. It sprouted from the waves like some curse from nature. Dozens of faces lost beneath the waves, prisoner and sentry alike. The lieutenant said the sea elves might act up, captain's bargain or no, but I have never seen... This lot seemed congenial enough. For pirates. Their captain paid well for their safe return, but taking a sea elf away from land? No, I can't believe they did this. Powerful sea elves make weather trouble. Not what we got. Not the coral. Piracy may be the work of scum, but it pays well. This lot was lucky to be caught. Most pirates go down with their ship. I suppose House du Fort felt charitable when their patrol ship captured this bunch. Our ship held 15 and 10 sentries to keep watch over them. I only saw 6 prisoners and Veslin flee the ship before it was too late. I was the last to make it off before it went under. No, not as such. Though there's one who's friendly with all the others. Kairisnia. She got along with everyone and even thanked me a few times for their upkeep. Didn't think anything of the chatter before. One of the Breton noble houses. They govern Amino Station and the prison stockade. The whole island is technically under their jurisdiction, but no one cares about the jungle. Well, except for the mines. Technically, other than the town, the entire island is a prison. They do something to the worst of the prisoners. Call it processing. Once done, they set them loose in the jungle, and I'm a sentry on a prison transport. I like to work all right. Sure, some prisoners give you trouble, but they quiet down after a few hits. Nothing bad ever happened prior to the shipwreck. There's something sinister.
Stay back. You're not one of those slimy druids. Who are you? I've got to get out of here. Why didn't I just drown in that shipwreck? They turned him into coral. Sunagil. Those Eldertide bastards turned him into this glow. Then they fed the glow to the coral. They said that the archipelago belongs to nature. That they were carving a balance between the natural world and greedy mortals. They brought us through the caves and up to the platforms above. Then they shoved us into cages. Veslin. She was whole when I escaped. I offered to help her, but she wouldn't leave the others and I had to run. I had to. I can't do anything. Not against the Eldertide Druid's power. But you can destroy their coral. The Eldertide sacrificed my shipmates to it. Those druids need to suffer. The coral is inside the caves, just down that hill. Make them pay. I'll give up pirate right now. But, all right. If knowing more about them will help you save the others, I guess I can stay. They're the ones who should be locked up in the Amino stockade. They're not even supposed to be here. They corrupt nature. Even their magic does horrible things. It hurts, too. The way Sunagil screamed. Does there have to be a reason? Eldertide druids can corrupt other sea creatures, too. Urchins, sea stars, fish, crabs, that sort of thing. But the coral they corrupted here... It looks like the coral that wrecked the ship. They planned this. They changed the coral into something unnatural. It stinks of druid magic and blood. It'll look different too, if there's light enough to see. I'm not going to let them turn me into that. I passed by one a little while back. Should be down that way. The other corals are probably inside the caves. We could still hear our shipmates' screams from the cages we were locked in. You've just volunteered to be our sacrifice.
More of you vile serpents to fight. Good. I'm just...
Over here, quickly. I don't know when they'll be back. Thank the Eight you're not one of those druids. Hurry, get us out of here. The druids, they're using us to feed their quarrel. Screams! I don't want any more of us to suffer that pain. Please. Sergeant Brusick survived the wreck. The Sea Elves said he was as good as dead. They regretted leaving him there as soon as those druids locked us all up. The Sergeant and I take care of our prisoners. That would be Kyrisia. She offered to pick the lock on this cage, but I couldn't leave these two. Seeing the druids when they killed Sunigil, it's my job. Please. Either pick yourselves off the ground or let me carry you. We're getting out of here. Sergeant Brusick's waiting.